Alright, gonna stream some MORDHAU for an hour and a half sort of time before I get on and do other stuff today. Well, I've already been out and done some stuff this morning, but yep, just streaming some more MORDHAU because I enjoy playing this. Let's see if there's any classes I want to edit or change. I might make a guy with a rapier actually. Let's just clone one of my existing classes. Clone mercenary, rapier. So what I'm going to do is just change the messer he's got to a rapier. That's 4 points, that saves me a point. Seeing what sort of guard you go on them. I kind of like the current one. And they're all fine. Right, cool. Colours. So that's the handle colour. We'll have that like a black leather, because that's what my rapier's got. I've actually got. So do you not have audio? Because I've got audio. Let's send. Yeah, it says it's transmitting audio absolutely fine. There's not any audio on the menu, if that's what you mean. Yeah, maybe I had to look then. Okay, so the cross-hilt colour, is there a darkish grey for that? I'll go for that one. What level do I lock? Level 4, 25, because yeah, that'll be the colour I go for when I can actually use them. Right, let's have the rapier looking like that. Okay. So I've got one more point I can spend. That might be quite good. Friendly, but is there a slightly better bit of armour? I might as well upgrade to a slightly better helmet. Yeah, a Sally helmet, my favourite kind of helmet for medieval stuff. Right, there we go. Shall I give him a little skirt or something? I'm seeing if there's any of these that look pretty cool. The chainmail skirt looks cool. How much gold have I got? Oh, 11k, so yeah, I'll buy that. Why not? It's purely cosmetic, but... That's the leg that I'm going to be changing the legs. Can't remember what colour I had that on initially. Chainmail skirt. Be a colour for this. Go for the purple. Ah, so it was you doing it, Sophistry. I thought it was me then, because I have had problems with some of these streams where the audio doesn't start for some reason. I think that sounds like total bullshit, Ethan, because this is already one of the most popular selling games on Steam, and they've already fixed loads of the issues that happened with it on launch. I'll show you how many servers there are actually at the moment. So yeah, let me just go to my loadouts and put Rapier Medic near the top, because I want to try playing as him a bit more. Now I've made him. So yeah, let me show you how many servers there are. So we'll go on server browser. I'll change it to frontline mode. And I'll say not full has players and no password, and I'll have the ping set to 100. So bear in mind there's going to be a lot more servers than this that will actually come up. And now if I refresh it, just tell you what, let me take all the filters off. Can I set that to all? Yeah. And I'll set the ping quite high, so let's just set the ping to 500. Obviously I'll change these filters again, but just to show you how many servers there are. There should be quite a lot. Yeah, fair enough. Right, so not all these servers have players on, but as you can see, there is loads of servers. You have no issue getting into servers and playing this. But anyway, let me put the settings back on how I want them. Yeah, do it however you want it, but you can edit recipes like that quite easily. But as you can see, loads and loads of servers of players in for this game mode with a low ping, so... sounds like bollocks to me if people are saying, oh, nobody's playing this game, nobody likes it. Or whatever. Alright, Richard. Now, my video at 5 PM today is I'll just leave it on the server as retrying thing for a bit before cancelling it in case a slot opens up on this server. No, I don't play pub. What was I going to say? Yeah, my video at 5 PM today is like the real medieval weapons in MORDHAU, because I've got loads of medieval weapons, so it's actually sort of showing that for people who are into video games. It might get them into medieval history a bit more. Let me just refresh the server list again, so as I ought to tick not full really, just so I don't have to sort through the ones. Tell you what, I might just use the matchmaker to try and get into a game. I don't normally use that, but it might just be a bit faster. Region, Europe, search. Hurrah. I hope there's not a problem of trying to play this game at the moment, because it's normally fine, but... oh, there we go. Yeah, I never got into chivalry, but this is fine. I quite like the rapier, to be honest. It's good if you play like me and just end up thrusting a lot. Nope, died pretty quickly then. So as he did hit me in the head with a maul. Don't forget to like the stream, everybody, because it does seem to help them get shared, because YouTube doesn't often notify people when I'm streaming like it's meant to. Oh, thank you very much. Cheers. Thank you, random in a good way. That's very nice of you. Thanks. I don't know how much New Zealand dollars are. I assume that is compared to British pounds, but thank you regardless. Nope. No, I don't know what you're on about, Cringe Lord. But thank you very much anyway, I appreciate that. Yesterday was a really good day for donations on streams, but I've ended up getting like 20-something pounds in donations, which is obviously, you know, like really nice, because it means that's almost enough for a surplus gas mask if I find a model I've not got yet. I might try playing as something other than a rapier guy in a minute. Yeah, I've said to people now if they donate, so if Random in a Good Way is still on, what you can do, oh sorry my phone's being annoying because it's doing that thing where because the charging cable's connected the screen's not touching properly. Hang on, let me get my YouTube chat back up. Press live chat. There we go. But yeah, Random in a Good Way, if you want to leave a comment if you've got a Discord ID on a random one of my YouTube videos, I'll be able to send you a Discord invite to my Patreon Discord server, if you want that later on, because I'm just going to do that now for everybody that does a super chat, just because it wasn't fair before really letting people that would donate $1 on Patreon get on, but some people give me quite big super chats and I couldn't invite them, so I'm just going to change that now. It means there might be a bit more discussion on there rather than it just being a few people. Yeah, it does look a lot like that. It's a similar guard, isn't it, Rich? You can change the guard on this, but I wanted to keep this one because it looks closest to the one I've got. So with all the weapons in this game, whenever there's a skin that you can have for it that looks like the stuff I've got in my own collection, I always use those. Yeah. I mean, personally, I can't tell the difference between Kiwi and Aussie accents, because to somebody who's not from those countries, they sound pretty similar, but I know it's quite easy to tell, isn't it? If you are, like, from there. Oops. I'll say sorry to him. Accidentally stabbing a teammate in the head with a rapier, not the best move. Come on then. Oh, that was a shit swing at me. Oh. Sure what, let's go to try and playing as a guy with a regular sword. No, my favourite in-game weapon's probably the billhook, because it's as versatile as a real billhook. But it depends, because you've got pole arms, swords and everything. I generally prefer thrusting weapons in this, because you get more reach. I think thrusting is generally a little bit faster than cutting with a lot of the weapons. But like, here's a Messer, for example, so... let's just throw some medic bags down for my team, before I get charging. Come back here. Oh. Don't know if it's a very school-suitable game, but I suppose you might learn a bit about history from it, as in people like to hack each other up with melee weapons. Yeah, I always forget it's a lot later in Australia. I mean, no, it should in New Zealand. I know it should be obvious, but you know, it's one of those things you kind of forget sometimes that you get people all over in different time zones. Ooh. Yeah, the weapons in this game actually are accurate, which is one of the things I really like about it. You know, like, you get all the types of pole arms and pole axes and swords and everything. Let's heal up. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to do some streams during the day, during the week, and some in the evening, because generally I get the most viewers on if I do a stream in the evening, because I think that's best for people in the UK and America. But yeah, I do like to now and again do streams during the day, just so people in different time zones can watch them, and it means I chat with different people on there, because obviously it gets a bit boring sometimes if you're doing a stream and it's always the same people in the stream. It's quite nice when you get a chance to chat with other people. And some people prefer video game streams, some people prefer webcam streams, you know, so I like kind of diversifying in that way a bit. I'll play as the guy with the billhook for a bit. Play as the guy with the heavy billhook, because the billhook's the same, but it's just the guy in heavier armor with the billhook. Just because that's a bit more useful for me, having a bit more armor on. You move a bit slower, but obviously you take less damage from every hit. What is realistic in this game is if you've not got a helmet on, pretty much any weapon, one hit kills you if you hits you in the head, especially things like hammers and pole arms. No, there's no women in this game, and all the people in it are white as well. So I imagine this game would trigger some groups of people. So it is, you know, historical medieval Europe battlefields in that sense. It's all, you know, men running around with pole arms. Right, our team's nearly won. Let's just push on to the enemy camp and wipe the rest of them out. Yeah, well, people like that can fuck off as far as I'm concerned, you know, like, the thing is, I have no problem if, like, films and whatever, if they wanna you know, put certain demographics in, and that's up to the people making the film. You know, it's a free market and everything like that. But the idea if somebody's trying to make a historically accurate thing, that they have to then start ruining historical accuracy to tick, you know, like certain politically correct boxes is completely stupid in my opinion. You can't actually quick scope with weapons in this or whatever, because if you use a longbow, your guy shakes a bit when first drawing it, and you have to give it a few seconds for him to stabilise his aim. And then obviously if you leave it drawn for too long, it has the exact opposite effect as well. If you use the recurve bow, you can shoot it a bit quicker. But yeah, the longbow is actually designed to be like a very heavy draw, slow to shoot bow in this, like it actually was. Yeah, not trying to make it political, I'm just saying I do like for once that there's a game that just tries to be sort of historically accurate and fun. Because the thing is, this isn't completely serious, obviously. There's lots of the things like where the characters say really stupid things, like the people, but obviously it's done in a joke way, you know, like, I'll bite your legs off and all that sort of stuff. But the point is, in terms of like what a European medieval battlefield would look like, that's very accurate. Sorry, teammate. Come here. Helmet to the face. What I really like with this is the hit detection and collision's really good as well. So if you swing like I did and you actually miss somebody, it doesn't hit them because the hitboxes are very good. So, you know, it never feels unfair. Also, the weapons can't thrust properly if they're like the halberd and you thrust it past an enclosed space. Let me see if I can demonstrate this. Okay, he's thrusting it that way, but yeah, see the axe bit then just got caught on the thing, even though the spike was clear. So there's lots of good things like that. So using a spear is better for thrusting in tight spaces than polearms. Now, I suppose it depends what sort of battle they're doing, though, doesn't it? Because there'd be places like Switzerland or whatever where it'd be snowy all year round in certain places. Let's see if I can cut down this longbowman. Come here. I want to hit you with my halberd. Oh, shit. Ah. Guy with the rapier got me. There are no microtransactions in this at all. The closest thing you can say there to microtransactions is I think there's like a support the developer bundle you can buy the game in that might give you one unique type of helmet or something. But in terms of in-game, everything is bought with in-game currency. You can't buy that in-game currency with real money. You get it from playing battles, and lots of the things are purely cosmetic anyway. Weapons have unique handling, but there's nothing, like there's no special packs with the game in that give you special advantages or anything like that. The game's completely made to be kind of like balanced and fun in a sense. Ah, he's running to the fire. Oh, no, I was cut down by a horseman. Yeah, the thing is, I reckon stuff like that inadvertently makes a lot of people racist and stuff like that who otherwise wouldn't be. Because, you know, it kind of is really annoying, isn't it, if you want to see something that's historically accurate. Like, for example, if I wanted to see, like, don't want to go into a political tangent, but if I wanted to see a film about the history of, like, Ethiopia or something like that, I wouldn't want them casting anything but, you know, like, black actors in it, because then it would be historically inaccurate. If it's a fantasy thing, I really don't care, because if it's not set on Earth, it doesn't matter, does it? As long as in the original, like, story, all the people are, like, portrayed correctly as they would have been in the books or whatever. But when something's set on Earth in a certain time period, I expect all the costumes and weapons and, you know, all that to be accurate. So, you know, if I watched a film about, like, Korea versus Japan in the Middle Ages, I'd like Korean and Japanese actors in that, you know. That's what a horrible racist I am, I guess. Oh yeah, they'd find an excuse, wouldn't they, with everything. No matter how it's done. But it's always going to be racist no matter what you do, or whatever. Let's just start swinging the halberd like mad. Whoa! Oh, I was hoping I'd... Ah, there we go. Right, if we can hold on to our territory, then we can win. If you're still in the chat, Mike, because I know you said you'd be listening while doing other things, is there a theme to tonight's stream, or is it just going to be a general sort of chat stream? use the bill hook because it's a bit shorter than the halberd, which might be good in these crowds. Obviously, the halberd is better for thrusting than the bill hook due to its longer length, but when you come to swing it around like that, it's a bit slower having the halberd. Alright, cool. Yeah, I just thought that would be an interesting thing to ask while I thought about it, if there was going to be a specific theme to tonight's stream, or it's just going to be a general chat. I don't mind either way, it's just sometimes good when there's a theme, just because people might stick to a certain topic a bit more. Because the topics normally on your streams, Mike, aren't they, is what have you just eaten? What food are you eating in, like, 5 minutes' time? That's, like, the most commonly brought up thing, I reckon. I've not played much more of it yet. I'll get into it a bit more at some point, but it's installed and seems to be running fine. I've been installing some more mods, but I've been quite busy over the last few days doing other stuff, so... I might stream Armour 3 next time I stream a game, if I do that on one of the weekdays. But at the moment, I said I'm streaming MORDHAU today just because tonight's video at 5 PM is related to MORDHAU because it's about medieval weapons, and I'm hoping that people who are playing the game might be interested in that. I suppose his Y-hander might have slightly more reach than the bill hook there, I'm not sure. Yeah, I totally agree with you, Richard. See, I'm of the opinion you should judge a person based on their character, not on their skin colour or anything else. So if it's a nice person, you know, I don't care what they look like or whatever else, and if the person's a dickhead, it doesn't, you know, matter what they look like because they're a dickhead, you know what I mean? But, you know, some people have a massive agenda when it comes to stuff like that, don't they? That it all has to be about race all the time, no matter what it is. People are inherently good or inherently bad either way. Like I said, I'd like to just play video games, though, and not chat about politics too much, because politics can be fucking, you know, boring and annoying. But about why people, like, bring up racism for nothing, one of the things, somebody was accusing, I've had more than one person do this, some people have accused me of racism before on some of my gas mask videos, right? Get this, because where I've said, like, this mask from a particular nation is designed to fit certain facial characteristics of people in those nations, people have gone, oh, that's racist, because you're implying there's races. Or like stuff like that. So if I've said, you know, this Chinese gas mask is designed to fit people with, like, what's it, Han Chinese, kind of like certain type of Asian faces. No, that's racist. Or, you know, like the Soviet masks were designed to fit certain kinds of, like, Slavic facial features. No, that's racist. Oh, there goes that guy's leg. Same sad person it always is, Army Aloof, or the same several sad people that watch my videos despite not liking them. See, I'm perfectly fine if people want to dislike them, but what I don't get is, as I've mentioned quite a few times before, if there's people that really don't like me or my content, why don't they stop watching? Why do they watch just to moan? That's the thing I don't get. I just, basically, that is my opinion. Nobody cares. I don't think I've ever been accused of racism by anybody I know in real life, you know, because I'm not. That's the thing. But I've seen some YouTubers get it really bad where people keep trying to bring up the most minor things and say, oh, you're racist because of that. But of course on the internet people love to do it all the time, don't they, of no matter what you've done. Like I said, I don't want to keep going into this because it's a bit of one of those depressing topics. We could be having a good conversation, but I do think all this politically correct stuff is just so bullshit for a lot of these reasons. I need to finish watching Salem's Lot when I finish doing this stream. It's the 1979 Salem's Lot, Mike, which I think was the one you thought it was, the 3-hour TV movie one. I don't think there's actually even any mic chat in this game, but I've got all that turned off because the thing is, when I'm streaming it, I don't like it if people are posting racist or offensive stuff in the chat, because, you know, I don't want that to somehow reflect on me if I'm doing the stream. And, you know, I can't be bothered to join in trash talking when people are doing that, because I just rather ignore it. Because you get that, like, if you're playing with a certain weapon, people are like, oh, you're a fucking noob because you're using this weapon. It's like, no, the game is actually pretty well balanced. If you don't like that weapon, then, you know, use something that counters it. Yeah, hopefully. I mean, I think streaming it might do quite well as well, just because YouTube seems to prioritise streams more than normal videos. But yeah, the MORDHAU video I'm doing today, just about melee weapons, hopefully that will do quite well. As I said, I'm hoping it gets people as well into, you know, like certain kinds of things with games. Like, you know, more into actual medieval sort of stuff. If that makes sense. Because I imagine there'd be a lot of people that might buy a game like this, not know all that much about medieval stuff, and then, because the game's quite accurate, they might be more intrigued to look into it in more detail. You know, I'd really hope it would do that for some people. Because I think with history, that's one of the ways you can get people into it, not considering it a boring subject, is to watch a game or film, you know, like play a game, watch a film, which is quite cool. And then people want to research more and find out, like, some of the real events of the film or the game or whatever. Actually, as they've got a lot of fortifications, when I die, I might play as my guy of the mall and just start smashing those down. That's weird. I really like milk. I drink a lot of milk, but that's mostly because it's quite high in fat, and where I've got ulcerative colitis, so I need to be, you know, I need to have as many calories as possible, really. Because you waste away quite easily with UC. So, I'm like the weird thing where I have to almost try and eat unhealthily as possible to just pack on weight. Obviously, it's better to get fat and protein from things like nuts and whatever that are good for you. But with something like UC, you'd actually be better eating lots and lots of McDonald's and, you know, trying to eat healthily in a sense. Just because you need to get as much, you know, calories into your body as possible to... Yeah. I've got a battle medic with a banjo. No, it's not a banjo, it's a lute, but, there's a thing called, I'll switch when I die again. There's a thing called loot, not loot, yeah, lootbot, which lets you, load midis in, and you can actually play the midis using the loot in-game, which is really cool, but I haven't been able to get it working quite right yet. And I wouldn't bother doing that on the stream anyway, because it's like, you're not playing the game properly when you do that, but it's quite cool, because you can get, like, you know, bits of music, and then play them in game, essentially. That's why you sometimes hear people playing Dragon Force or whatever when running around the loops. Yeah, I'm not going to play as the loot guy anymore because I actually want a weapon. But yeah, the point is that you can you know, you can actually play the loot in this. I think my team's the one getting stomped this game. To be honest, I don't really like this map. It's quite an intense map, but I think the problem is because it's quite a small map compared to some of the others, it ends up being just a massive clusterfuck around some of the objectives. Oh, fuck's sake, teammate just got in the way there, just as like that guy's head was about to get hit off. Oh, and again. I've tried oat milk, which is surprisingly nice, because I know people that are like vegan and vegetarian. Sometimes they have things like oat milk, and you know, it's not too bad when I've tried it. I hate soy milk and stuff like that, and soy is quite bad for you to eat anyway, isn't it, and drink? I mean, I know it's different between processed and unprocessed soy, but I know there's a lot of health risks for men to actually take a big amount of soy in. But yeah, oat milk's surprisingly nice. Don't know, Slingshot Warrior. Do you mean like celebrities or what? But generally in the UK we don't have many attractive women because of how sort of fat this country's getting and everything else. Like when I've been to bits of Central and Eastern Europe, the women are far more attractive over there. Oh, he wrecked me with that bardiche. But you see, I enjoy this game when people kill me, especially if it's like a guy like that who's really skilled at swinging his bardiche, and they go, oh, this is a broken game. Oh, they're cheating. My ping. I'm just like, oh, fair play. He was better than me. Come on then. Oh, no, I'm going to get the swarm there. Come on, then. I found sometimes when you're actually in a massive brawl like that, you're pretty doomed, but if you keep walking around, you're actually less likely to get hit because they hit their teammates more, whereas if you just stand still. Not when they had syphilis and plague. Let's switch to the armor piercing spike. See what that's like. If I can get a hit in. Oh, no. Don't want to be battle medic. Try being a bomber. Just like a class to irritate people with loads of fire bombs. That's all I've got is this class, fire bombs. No melee weapon, just fire bombs. Come on then. Cool. If it came with an EO14 filter, are you sure it's a GP5 though, not an SHM41 or like a Polish OM14? Because GP5s weren't issued with EO14 filters, they came with GP5 filters. Or like the very small coffee cans for the models with a hose. Ah, so fire doesn't actually go in the water, that's good. I didn't know if it was like napalm kind of fire that burned on top of water or not. Right, let's play as a proper class again. I'll spawn and then change. Let's try this guy with the big, when I respawn, the big evening star. Like a mace basically on a polearm. Oh, YouTube's changed back into top chat again, which is annoying, so I need to change that back to live chat in a minute. Right, when I die again I'll change the chat settings, but right, let me now change that to live chat again in case I've missed any messages. I don't know what you mean by people walking like a penguin. Do you mean in real life or in the game? Yeah, I've played the original Hitman, Silent Assassin, Contracts, Blood Money, and that really shit one that came after that. I know the couple of recent Hitman games are a lot better, but I've not actually played them. But Blood Money was my favourite. The thing I like about this game is I can be playing really shit and still enjoying it. Saying that, I'm not at the bottom of my team, so I suppose I'm not playing too badly, but I always feel like I'm doing worse than I actually am in this game. Yeah, I think I played a bit at Bart's at one of the newer Hitmans, and yeah, that was quite good, because it's built more like the old ones, isn't it? But yeah, was it Absolution? It was a really shit one that was filled with quick time events, and like you couldn't really play the game stealthily properly because enemies instantly recognise you if you're wearing a disguise. So you end up just having to shoot your way through all the levels, and there's some levels where like you start off and the enemy's already alerted you. Yeah, that's shit. Oh, that cave that guy's head in. What, like Armour? I sometimes stream Armour. I've got Armour 3 installed recently, but I haven't played much of it yet again. I might stream some Armour 3 at some point if I can get it to run at a good enough frame rate, because the problem is when I stream games, the frame rate drops a bit because you're streaming it as well. So, ooh, I really didn't want to hit my teammate there. But, I might make another class of the falchion after this game, because I really like the falchion in this, even though it's quite short, and it's very cheap to equip. It's like 3 points or something. So I could probably make a really good all-round class of a falchion. Oh, I've just burned myself horribly. Oh, is that a teammate that just killed me? I do love a falchion. The thing I like about the falchion in this is it's very quick to swing, like a real falchion. Doesn't do massive damage, but it's quite fast at least. Like that. Come here then, Archer. I've got my man cleaver. It's a falchion. Ah. I've just realised on my phone the stream's not live, so it was showing me the input like from half an hour ago. Actually, can I quickly clone the falchion guy? Right, now let's get rid of the Bloodlust perk, because I don't really need that, which gives me a load of spare points. Let's give him better helmet and chest piece. And then that gives me 3 spare points, so I might as well give him a medic bag, and I can give him either a perk. I'll give him friendly, so it's harder for me to hurt my teammates. There we go. This will be a bit more versatile than the one I had before, but I think I need to change to it, don't I, when I die again. Ah, it's surrounding me. It's not fair. Well, that is, it's how medieval battles went. My team's going to lose horribly anyway. Yeah, there we go, I've got the guy over there. Can you mutilate the bodies when they're already down? Or kind of looks like you can. Oh yeah, you can! Look at that! I don't know, I'm enjoying that so much. Seems a bit psychopathic, doesn't it? But yeah, you can chop bodies up when they're already dead. Right, how long have I been streaming for? Nearly an hour so far. I'll stream for at least another half hour. Because the thing with game streams compared to webcam streams is because I don't need to talk as much, in a sense. It's easier to play for longer. Yeah, it's like Mountain Blade, isn't it? But no, I'll drink from your skull. It's a nice head you have on your shoulders. What's that, the football, Jacob, or what? Or exams? Because he probably decided not to wear much armour, I guess, which is a silly move in this game, because if you've not got much armour on, like like that guy, he didn't have a helmet. Look what happened when the falchion hit him in the head. Ah, cool. Well, good luck with those. Hope you've done well in them. I'm glad I'm not at school anymore. I like, if I have to be somewhere, you know, for long hours of a day, like a job, being paid for it, to be honest. Some people are like, oh, school's the best days of your life, but for me it wasn't. I wouldn't mind, as I've said before, if I knew everything I knew now, and I went back to me as a kid, doing things differently. That might be interesting. Like a Groundhog Day kind of thing, where you're stuck at school, but, there's a good mace look, Mike. That guy's got. He's in the middle of a smoke bomb, so I can't really see. But yeah, if you like medieval combat, you'll find my video tonight very interesting, because I think it's the first time I've ever got all my medieval weapons and put them together for a video, or at least a recent one. There's a lot more in it. And I didn't even include things like the replica crossbow, it was just purely the melee weapons. And at some point, if Mike makes me a Warhammer and I buy a Warhammer off Mike, I'll have a Warhammer to show in that video as well. So, you know, it's one of those videos that I can expand every now and then with even more medieval weapons. But yeah, it took like, it was a 15-minute video just to pick up each weapon and talk about it for like a minute, because of how many medieval weapons I've got now. You know, different swords, like pole arms and all that sort of stuff. What sort of issues are you getting? I've not had too many. They've fixed quite a lot of stuff over the last couple of days. There's certain balance issues, I think, not with so much of weapons, but like, you know, like speed of certain things that could do with a bit of balancing, but I found most things to be pretty good in this. I keep forgetting I should drop a medkit before I run in every time. Yeah, at some point I really ought to do a video talking about trench weapons of World War I. Some of those are pretty brutal and interesting. The problem is I'd have to just find pictures online and talk about them, you know, that way, because obviously I don't own any really World War I artifacts. But yeah, like some of the trench knives, trench swords, trench maces, you know, like the things where they've modified like grenades into being clubs. You know, some of them are fascinating because it was very medieval, wasn't it? And some of the trench armour as well, in a sense. Like when it turned into hand-to-hand fighting in the trenches. But yeah, I've never done a video on that, so that might be a good idea. But like I said, I'd have to find somewhere I can just get a load of public domain images to actually do the video with, because I don't own any of the stuff. But Let's just charge in and see what happens. Wah! Wah! Oh. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind DLC for this game if they, as long as it doesn't split the player base, because that's the problem with some games with DLC. But yeah, if they did like a Crusade version, or you know, like a Far Eastern version, like maybe if it was a standalone game made by the same developers, like for, you know, like one with like Japanese stuff in and stuff like that, because I wouldn't really want them to all be fighting on the same battlefields, because then it becomes historically inaccurate. I love the crunching noises as people get their heads caved in with like maces in this and warhammers. Oh, get back from the fire. Oh shit. Right. What you forging today, Mike? Not Mike, sorry, Richard. What you doing on your forge today? See, I reckon this guy's using Lootbot because it sounds too much like he's playing actual music when he was doing that, rather than just playing random notes. What would be good is, I don't know if anybody's done this yet, if they get the dueling banjo thing from Deliverance as a thing and then play that in Lootbot, that would be good. Because that would be like perfect for a guy going like do 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 running around the loot. Oh, can't fit through that. Oh, there goes my shield. Come on then, I've not got a shield now, but I'm angry. Oh, somebody got me in the back with an axe. Like splattered my spine with an axe. Ouch. Yeah, I think somebody was saying they'd like to see how realistic Scalagrim thinks it is, or something like that. Because all the weapons in this are real sort of medieval weapons. There's no stupid fantasy weapons in this, you know. There's like one two-headed axe, and then it's small like warheads on it. It's not like, you know, in some of the games where you have the massive battle axes with the short handle, but then like two giant like fire axe kind of heads on it. There's nothing like that in this. Ah, that's cool. Yeah, sounds good, Richard. You doing that as a birthday present for him, or has he paid him from you? I know we were talking about it on Twitch last night, but I can't remember too much about what you're saying about that. Oh, that guy's arm fell off. Oh, that was an enemy there. I thought it was a teammate. There we go. Ah, missed his horse, damn it. Oh, there goes his leg! I don't know why that's so funny, but it is funny. I'm going to be Ted Bundy any minute now playing a game like this. Right, I reckon I'll play one more match of this when this match ends, and then that will probably be a good length for the stream, because it would have been about an hour and a half after one more match when this one ends. It looks like we're going to lose this one. Oh, I'm stuck on that. Ah. Would you share a flat with Jeffrey Dahmer? Gonna be making my zombies for loving, like Jeffrey Dahmer did. Jeffrey Dahmer was one of the weird serial killers, wasn't he, that wasn't actually really abused as a child, because most serial killers had like lots of physical or sexual abuse as kids, which they think, you know, impacts them psychologically. But Dahmer was one where apparently he came from a really loving home, that, you know, he just kind of went a bit mental at one point and thought what he'd love to do is, you know, take men back to his house and kill and eat them and turn them into zombies by drilling into their head and filling them with acid. Shall I play as my bomber guy? Because I bet he'd be pretty good at just throwing firebombs over that bridge, just to be annoying. Oh, I didn't even get anyone in that fire. That's annoying. Is there a resupply box near here anywhere? Not that I can see. Yeah. I mean, if you're not Jeffrey's type, would he do it to you? That's what I don't know. Like, if he didn't find you attractive, he probably wouldn't want to, like, murder and cannibalise you, would he? Because that was, like, obviously how he got off. Ooh, yeah, come on then. Ah, got hammer timed. Oh, my knees every time. Yeah, I think MORDHAU's worth a buy. I actually bought it because I watched Worth a Buy's video on it. And he generally dislikes most games, so if there's a game that makes him happy, it's generally quite good. But yeah, I've put, I think, probably about 30 hours into it in the first week I've owned it, which probably gives you some idea of how much I like it. So I've got my money's worth already, and I don't see myself stopping playing it anytime soon. The words of the developer. What in the actual? I actually support him on Patreon, because I really like Mac's videos. Come on, then. Bite your legs off. Oh, I think that was the teammate that got me then. It was. Oh, again, my legs, they're broken. I've fallen and I can't get up. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, I wanted that to fly over there. Come on. I might give some more classes to dagger, because if you're charging in like that, like, short weapons are actually really good because they're quite fast, and you know, they don't use much stamina, because that's the problem. The bigger weapons in this are slower to swing and they use more of your stamina, which is why sometimes when I go to using the fists, I get a couple of kills because you can just swing them much faster than the big pole arms. Right, what I'm going to do this time is run down like this so I don't break my legs. There we go. Oh, there's a guy there. Oh, I've got a thing stuck in my hand. Look at that. Like a throwing spear had impaled my hand to my chest. Sadly, I'm not as powerful as Rich. If I was, these guys wouldn't stand a chance. Our team's just about to lose anyway, so I don't know I even bothered changing my class for the last 10 seconds or so of the game. Where am I on the scoreboard? Oh, I'm right at the top of my team, which shows how shit my team must be this game if I'm near the top and I've just been running around like a twat. Come on then! I'll bite your legs off! No, I'm not giving everybody a mod role. The point is I'm giving everybody the Patreon role, so that's so I can set the categories more easily, if that makes sense. Because you can play the loot in this game, so why wouldn't you? I don't want to do camp. Yeah, let's do Mountain Peak again, because that's quite a good map. And then that will be the last game I play on the stream, because by the time I finish this, it will easily be an hour and a half long stream. So yeah, the reason I'm putting everybody on like the yellowy orange patron role is because that way I can give them limited permissions, and then I can put a few people as the blue mod role. Because I thought if I categorise people, it's at least going to be a bit easier to deal with than, you know, we'll go back to the Bill Hook guy. Because pack fodder. You can hit people with the loot, yeah, but it only does about 20 damage a hit, so it's not all that good for hitting people with. But yeah, you can smack them with it. You can smack people with most things in this game, to be fair. Oh, look at that! I got him! Wow, that was amazing. You can visibly hear the excitement in my voice as I pulled a rider from his horse with my polearm. Come here. I can do this all day. Come on then, I've got a bill hook. I'll chop your legs off. Oh. Come here, Archer, I want to get you before I die. Did I get him? Well, I probably nearly killed him. Oh, he got me just before I picked up the medic bag. Right, let's just start swinging the bill hook like crazy in here. Oh, there goes my head, look, rolling along the floor. No, I don't have a cap. Alright, come on then, let's duel. Oh. His loot's faster than my bill hook. Oh, the other guy got me in the end. Yeah, you'd hope, wouldn't you, that you actually got a pole arm properly to the head to the point it decapitates you or, you know, caves or cuts your brain apart, rather than having, you know, like your limbs mutilated and then bleeding to death until somebody comes along and stabs you on the floor. If we can take this point, then we can hopefully turn the battle in our favour. There we go. Or imagine, yeah, getting shot with like a broadhead arrow, suffering in agony for ages, maybe being able to have it removed and then dying of an infection. Because, you know, no antibiotics back in those days. You had to just hope you didn't get a serious infection, or you're a goner. Yeah, you're probably right, Rich. I think any big polearm, if it hits you on the head, would probably break your neck, wouldn't it? Oh no, they're capping it back. We must stop them. Ah, good, it looks like my team's already kind of over there again. Oh, there goes my head. Let me try the rapier medic again for a bit. Alright, see ya, sophistry. No, we lose that second point. If we lose that, we'll lose. We need to make sure we hold on to that. Let's get some medkits down for the team. Oh dear. How am I doing on the team at the moment? Ah, fairly close to the top. And only off the top spot by about 400 points. So better than I was expecting. Oh, I've got an arrow in me. Hope I'm not being shoot right now. Oh, good, I wasn't. Rapier's pretty damn good, isn't it, for just quickly thrusting into people? I mean, I know that's the actual job of it. Rode down by the cavalry. Spawn. So it looks like my team's going to lose unless we manage to cap the point, but at least this has been quite an even game, which is what I like, you know, because it's better if you have a draw when it's quite close, but when it's like one team completely stomps the other, it's generally not very fun, even if you're on the winning team. When you get like a massively curved stomping battle, I don't find those very fun. Oh, here we go. I'll do another survival stream at some point. Yeah, I think we've had it now. I think they're gaining momentum on us. No, I've not played Squad, but it's a bit like Armour, isn't it? I might get it when it's on sale at some point. I've just, because not many of my friends have it, I don't think I'd really have people to play it with. Because, you know, that's one of those games you want to play with a load of people who actually, you know, play games like that properly, don't you? Well, the problem is, with a lot of games, if you're playing with random people online, your team's going to be awful. And if it's a tactical shooter like Squad, it would just really annoy me if I'm having to play with randos. I think for us the war is over. Oh, there goes my head. Maybe cinnamon, fruits, nuts. You can add loads of different things, seeds to porridge. Depends how healthy or unhealthy you want it to be. You can add chocolate. You know, totally up to you if you make something like that. Right, that'll do me for playing this for today, because I've done about, what, an hour and 30 odd minutes on the stream, so that's a pretty good time. See if there's any of these classes I want to edit. Let me just create a new guy. Let's go do one axe medic, so it's a guy with an axe and medic kit. So, right, gear, equipment. Right, what kinds of axe are there? So there's the little axe. There's also throwing axes. Very nice. And obviously you've got the big axe somewhere. War axe. Battle axe, yeah. So what I'll probably do is give this guy a little axe. Wherever that was. There we go. Buy the axe. What skin is there? Default. I'll just use default for now. Head. I quite like the bearded head, but raid head's like a tomahawk, so let's have that. Have straight handle. Let's just recolour this slightly. Okay, secondary, let's give this guy a throwing axe, so I've got a bit more range. And tertiary, let's give him a medikit. Okay, so that gives us 10 points to do the loadout. So I reckon I'll give him light legs. Torso, he can have a level 2 torso. Quite like the look of that, yeah, I can afford it, why not? And head, he can have... level 3 helmet. Okay, that gives me 4 spare points to play with. Let's just give him loads of little kind of points, so I shall have cat because I'd rather have less fall damage. So yeah, that gives him lots of little good passive abilities. Let's just change his shoes. Probably Sunday, my next stream. Right, cool. Yeah, I'll probably get it at some point, but as I said, I'll wait till it's on Steam sale at some point. Probably wait till I've got my new PC as well. Actually, I might change this guy's helmet because I've got the money, so I might get a helmet that looks a bit more fitting with a thing like this. I might go with that one. Conic face mask. Let's just change the colours slightly. Let's make both of those 20. Oh nice, I can have a colour pattern on this one. I love how much customization there is in this for all like the character details. There we go. Looks pretty good, doesn't it? Shad's not a very good channel in my opinion. I don't want to get too into it because, like I said, I don't like bullshit YouTube drama, but he did this thing a while ago where he went on every video of a falchion he could find. And he's like, oh, that's not a real falchion, watch my videos on falchions. And then it was like an hour long of him rambling, not even talking about falchions for most of the video. So, you know, I don't like YouTubers that do shit like that, just to be completely honest. Right, anyway, thanks for watching everybody. I'll finish this stream now, so I've got this guy for next time I play. And yeah, I've enjoyed doing this stream. I'll be on Weapon Collector's stream tonight at 9 PM when he starts that. But yeah, now I need to finish watching Salem's Lot, so I'll finish watching that now. So, thanks for watching everybody. Hope you've enjoyed the stream. Cheers.